There's a quiet, unsettling moment when you glance at your reflection and realize the person looking back isn't quite who you'd imagined becoming. It's not outright failure that troubles you, it's something softer, quieter, a nagging feeling that somewhere along the way, a crucial part of you has faded. You sense a subtle yet profound gap between who you currently are and the self you could be. It's in this strange awareness, this delicate discomfort, that genuine self-transformation first begins. Because true transformation doesn't start externally, it unfolds quietly, inwardly, as a silent psychological shift. We often picture change as a decisive moment, a sudden clarity, a profound turning point. But real inner transformation isn't an event. It's a gentle dismantling, a slow rebuilding of your internal world. It's less about changing what you do and more about shifting how you see, altering the lens through which you perceive your existence. This depth of change doesn't happen overnight. It emerges quietly through inner struggle, self-doubt, and those uncomfortable moments of reflection most people prefer to avoid. Psychologists have long recognized this process. Carl Jung called it individuation, the merging of fragmented aspects of oneself into a cohesive identity. Abraham Maslow described it as self-actualization, the gradual unfolding of your fullest potential once basic needs have been addressed. Yet beneath psychological theories and intellectual explanations lies a simple, undeniable truth. Real transformation begins only when the pain of staying unchanged outweighs your fear of stepping into the unknown. So, in this quiet moment, you must ask yourself, what part of me needs to break open for a deeper self to finally emerge? Most people spend their entire lives quietly repeating the same emotional scripts they've inherited from childhood, rarely aware that these silent narratives shape every choice they make. Within each of us lies subtle beliefs, formed in our earliest years, rooted in the subtle yet powerful messages we absorbed from family, culture, and early experiences. Though they seem harmless on the surface, these hidden scripts quietly build invisible psychological walls around our potential, dictating the boundaries of our inner world. I am not worthy. Success isn't meant for someone like me. It's too late to become anything different now. We accept these quiet whispers as truth. Unaware they shape the architecture of our lives, silently guiding us away from paths of deeper fulfillment. But true awakening begins in the moment we gently notice these walls, not when we tear them down, but simply when we begin to see them clearly. Awareness itself becomes an act of quiet rebellion, the very moment when the hold of these unconscious patterns begins to loosen. Consider the inner workings of your mind as a forest shaped since childhood. Each belief, each repeated pattern is a path worn down by years of silent footsteps. Neuroscience reveals something profound about this landscape. Your brain continuously reshapes itself. Every time you challenge an old assumption, every gentle questioning of an ingrained habit, you begin carving new pathways within. Slowly, the old trails fade, overtaken by fresh growth. Yet this journey is never comfortable. Genuine transformation brings inevitable friction. Your ego resists change fiercely because its core function is to preserve familiar ground, even if that familiarity quietly stifles your soul. The discomfort isn't failure, it's evidence of a subtle inner revolution. Your mind seeks homeostasis, struggling to restore balance, to maintain an old identity, a familiar self. Imagine Sarah, who grew up being constantly told she was irresponsible. As an adult, no matter how often she organized her life, disorder always returned as though inevitable. It wasn't mere laziness. Her inner child still believed disorder was part of who she was, and chaos became a twisted form of comfort. Only when she began softly telling herself, "I'm becoming someone who deserves order," did her outer life finally align with her inner identity. Now, reflect deeply. What subtle childhood script still quietly shapes your choices today? Because genuine healing isn't about changing your habits, it's about gently reshaping the story of who you believe yourself to be, and perhaps your own inner walls await your quiet rebellion. Every meaningful change, whether overcoming an addiction, mending a broken relationship, or stepping beyond old patterns, begins quietly beneath the surface in how you define your sense of self. This subtle inner image shapes everything: your emotions, behaviors, and even the quiet, seemingly insignificant choices you make each day. Consider how often you might feel anxiety without clear reason, procrastinate despite ambition, or retreat emotionally just when intimacy draws near. These aren't random behaviors. They're quiet echoes of old wounds, subtle patterns born from past pain that continue shaping your inner narrative today. At the core lies a deeper connection. Unresolved emotional injuries subtly guiding your subconscious, causing you to unconsciously seek comfort in familiar coping mechanisms. Perhaps you numb difficult feelings by burying yourself in endless distractions, or repeatedly find yourself drawn to relationships that mirror childhood wounds, seeking resolution but inevitably recreating the pain. These unconscious strategies are your mind's gentle, albeit misguided, attempt at protection. They promise relief, yet quietly trap you inside the same emotional loops you desperately want to escape. Imagine this inner dynamic as walking through dense fog. You strain to move forward clearly, but the mist of past hurts blurs your vision. You wander in familiar circles, each step feeling new yet strangely repetitive. Your subconscious mind, the fog, quietly persuades you to stay within its safe embrace, even though that safety suffocates your potential for growth. Breaking free from this mist requires more than determination. It requires illuminating what lies beneath. Real healing begins the moment you dare to shine light on the unseen. Practices like therapy, honest self-reflection, and deep introspection aren't merely tools. They're acts of quiet courage, gently dissolving the haze. They reveal hidden truths about yourself, making what was unconscious conscious, weakening the subtle grip these old wounds hold over you. But be prepared. This journey is rarely straightforward. True growth occurs in cycles: progress, uncertainty, slipping backward into doubt, followed by clarity and renewal. Each turn of the cycle pushes you toward deeper self-understanding. It mirrors a symbolic journey, leaving the comfort of familiar emotional territory, wandering through uncertainty, and eventually returning transformed. Ask yourself deeply and honestly now: what unconscious patterns still quietly shape my life, even when I believe I've changed? Because until the hidden wounds become visible, you'll remain quietly controlled by an inner self you thought you'd left behind. True transformation always begins gently, with the quiet courage to touch the truth within yourself. It isn't built on force or discipline alone, but from a willingness to softly acknowledge who you truly are beneath the layers of past conditioning. This honesty isn't harsh or judgmental. It's compassionate, tender, and unguarded. It whispers to you gently, "Here is my pain. Here is what I've hidden away. Here are the quiet truths I've avoided." This simple act of seeing clearly, without denial or pretense, is the first step toward genuine liberation. As you gaze inward with newfound clarity, you begin to gently dismantle old patterns, not through force or punishment, but by softly illuminating the beliefs that once kept you stuck. You notice the walls built from fear, self-doubt, and learned limitations, and rather than attacking them, you gently allow them to dissolve. Each small moment of honesty chips away at the old architecture, gradually setting you free from identities that no longer fit. Yet, true healing doesn't simply discard the parts of you shaped by past wounds. It lovingly embraces them. This is the gentle art of self-reconciliation, learning to hold all your pieces together, even those once rejected or hidden away. Your insecurities, your fears, your anger, your grief. Each holds wisdom waiting patiently to be seen. When these parts are witnessed with compassion instead of judgment, something profound shifts. You no longer fight against yourself. You begin to integrate, uniting fragments into wholeness, bringing harmony to your inner landscape. Real growth unfolds slowly, through subtle moments of awakening. Each small choice, each tiny shift in perception is quietly revolutionary. The moments you pause instead of reacting impulsively, breathe instead of speaking harshly, and choose compassion instead of fear. These become gentle turning points. They reshape your inner pathways, rewriting the quiet stories you tell yourself, quietly guiding you toward deeper authenticity. Transformation doesn't demand sudden leaps. It unfolds through gentle, persistent acts of awareness. A simple daily practice, perhaps quietly journaling your true feelings or taking a mindful walk each morning, can subtly anchor this deeper presence. Try this. For the next 7 days, spend just 5 minutes each morning gently reflecting on the question, who am I beneath my conditioning, beyond my fear? Observe without judgment, letting whatever arises gently surface and dissolve. Notice the quiet strength born from simply seeing yourself clearly. Remember, healing isn't linear. It spirals gently upward, continually inviting you deeper. Each step reveals new layers of insight, new thresholds of growth. Your inner journey doesn't have a fixed endpoint. Rather, it's a continuous, unfolding conversation between who you were, who you are, and who you're gently becoming. And even now, something within you softly knows this truth. Transformation isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you've always been beneath the noise, the masks, the roles you've played. You're not becoming new. You're gently returning home to yourself. If you resonated with these words, I warmly invite you to subscribe to the channel and explore more videos dedicated to your quiet journey inward. Together, we'll gently uncover truths that guide you toward deeper self-awareness, emotional healing, and genuine growth. Because transformation isn't a single leap. It's the quiet accumulation of small awakenings, each bringing you closer to the life and self you were always meant to discover.